Aha, I can go live. Okay.
Well, we're live, and you're supposed to bring us in, but I'll bring us
Yeah.
in.
Go
Hello,
ahead.
everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut here with Brian Galke, and we're Aces 53. It is Tuesday. Tuesday. What's the matter? Didn't go live over on,
No, it's going live now. I was looking for the logo. I don't see it.
because probably I put the wrong one in. Let's see where we're at.
So I was looking to the side. I was like, where's it at? I couldn't remember.
There we go. There
Nah,
it
there you
is.
go. Yes.
Yeah.
Much
And,
better.
hold on. Thought I added the new one. I don't know why it's not showing
It
up
was
on this.
there. I thought I saw it the other day.
It was, but sometimes these things just have
They're
to be
finicky.
reset up again.
They're so finicky.
No, it's just there's just so many things to do and so little time.
Yeah.
But thank God there's Chat GPT because it makes it so much easier when you need graphic.
Yeah. Chat. Somebody else was telling me they use Claude and Blue or something like that. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that one.
Well, let me know. I'll see if it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the problem with chat sometimes is you tell it to put on a transparent background and it doesn't. It puts it on a grid, and
Yeah.
then you say put it on a clear background, and then sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. That damn AI only wants to work when it wants to work. It's like an employee.
So lazy. So lazy. All right. I'm going to try something new today. I'm going to step away from my computer. That way I'm not tempted to touch stuff. Because if not, I'm like, oh, look.
Put your hands in your pocket. Put your hands in your pocket. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you're too far back. I got to adjust mine. All right. What are we going to talk about today? I do know that on Thursday we have Joe. What's Joe's
Ingram.
last name? Thank you.
Ingram.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to mess with him. But he hasn't been on for a couple years because he went back to figure out everything that he says is supposed to work in the industry he's in. So he went to prove it, and now he's come back. He's going to talk about it. So
Yeah, because there's
Thursday.
the joke. Like you and I talk about this all the time. The people who are making the most amount of money in selling AI aren't the ones using it. They're the ones that are teaching other people to use AI. So he basically was offered something he couldn't refuse. And he's like, all right, I'll step back in for a year and prove that what I teach works. So it'll be interesting to have him on.
Yeah, we'll see if that will be good on Thursday because we keep talking about using AI. You keep bringing up how there's millions of people losing jobs a month.
Mm-hmm.
We've been making fun of you on real estate jerky.
Do it.
Yeah, because it keeps coming out. There's hundreds of thousands, different or 50,000 or whatever, but the total number of unemployment people, 1.2 million that are on unemployment or whatever the number is, but it keeps falling down because people have to get off because you can only make $200 a week.
Yeah, it's max you can make, I think, is 500 a week if you meet all the criteria. And then you're still gonna have to pay taxes on it. And like for me, I pay child support. Well, it came directly out of we've talked about this before. It comes directly out of my bank account, but they don't know that. So like, oh, well, we can only pay you X. So for me, it would have been $250 a week max. So when you hear those stories about people, oh, they've been on unemployment for forever. I'm like, how are they paying bills? I don't know how they do it.
They live with family in their basement.
Yeah. We don't have basements in Texas. That's the problem.
We have them in the older homes in California, but not really much anymore. Yeah.
If you go to, everything basically north of here, Kansas, Oklahoma, they all have them. And of course,
Well, that's because of the tornadoes.
I was going to say they started out as storm shelters first, and then they went in, But yeah, I always thought it was funny, like in Kansas, Colorado, Chicago, all these places have, basements. And that was such a foreign concept. I remember like when a friend had a basement here, I was like, that's a really unique thing. But
it is, but the problem is you don't make any money on it. So,
yeah.
Then a lot of people put a lot of money into them, and then they're like, what do you mean I don't get any money for it? Yes,
Yeah.
you don't. Because I have a lot of houses here in Modesto that are 1950s and older who have basements, and people are like, well, I have this huge basement with all this. Doesn't matter. It's $2,500 if you're lucky.
Well, I'm going to self-report. I'll go ahead. I did end up going to that seminar on Sunday.
Oh, the one you said you weren't going to go?
The one I wasn't
because you're going to stay home and work?
I was going to, and I even look. I stayed in Friday night. I was like, I'm going to be good. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go to this seminar on Saturday, and then I realized the 14th is Sunday. I was like, damn it! I stayed in for no reason.
What do you mean the 14th is Sunday?
Well, because when I bought it, it just said, hey, the event's on the 14th, and I thought, okay, well, it's got to be events are on Saturdays, right? And so I stayed in Friday, thinking, oh, I'll get up early and go to this event on Saturday, only to realize the event was Sunday. But it was still good information. I'll share it over and send it to you. It was good info, but I did not work on my book when I was there. I took a ton of notes. I could have written a book, but he had a lot of good information on how people are using ads, but everything you have to have set up in your business before you do ads. Like, do you have your ascension ladder? Do you have this set up? Do you have your email campaigns? Once people do your free whatever, but then they also get into some aggressive stuff, like they're using robo dialers and how many times it'll call people. And, some people, let's just say he does more than the average person, but less than Grant Cardone. So,
well, again, it depends on the industry you're in and how aggressive you want to be.
Yeah.
Most of my people are referrals, so I don't want to put them on a dialer. But years ago, they approached us when high level was really getting going in our industry, and everybody kept saying it was their own stuff. They white label it and whatever. This is what we can do for you, and they would set up all these ads on Facebook, and it was a hero loan to help heroes and all this. And it was like, I don't want to say it was pushing the edge of wrong marketing. And so I was like, I don't like this. Yes, I work with heroes because I'm a vet and everything else. But first of all, we don't think we're heroes. We think we run towards danger, but that we don't think of ourselves as a hero. That's the difference. And people don't understand that, who are not in this industry or who are not a veteran trying to promote it. So you got to be really careful is what I'm trying to get at with the way you do things. It doesn't work for everything. And I'm not saying not to do it.
Right. Yeah. You're just saying it's not for every industry. Before this call, I don't want to give away his name yet because he's getting ready to reveal the software and everything, but I was on an interesting call with another speaker who's developed some software in AI that it asks you questions to really help you identify who you are. Like it asks you things of, give a time in your childhood that da. And what you have to answer like 30 questions, and then it helps you craft all your messaging around that. And that's step one that a lot of places are really missing is we're taught all the time, like, oh, who's your avatar? But not that many go into the deep of what's your why, of doing this kind of stuff. So it was a really interesting software. He did a live webinar and used me as the guinea pig. And I'm like, holy crap, this is cool. So I have to go in and finish like another 20 questions to help do that. But then it'll ask you if you're a branding guy and things like that. And it helps through AI for people to craft their message and create social media content and video. What's your video script going to be? What do you need to record? Really cool software. And the interesting thing about that was he was talking about the gross amount of money he spent, trying to develop this over the years. But now, thanks to AI, he got frustrated with a company he's working with overseas. And he sat down one day, and because of where AI is, he was able to create the thing that he always wanted.
And that's how everything is now. I don't want to say it's so easy. It just takes time and stuff like that. And you have to, I do a little bit differently. I used to just sit down and go, and now I build it out with Claude ahead of time, and then we put in a Claude code and tell it to go.
Well, you said now you go in and you ask it everything first, right?
Well, I have I on my walk with Claude.
Yes,
we go through different things about what I'm trying to build, and then it comes back and says, how do you want to do this? And I go through because one of the things I built is I have the night signal that looks at websites that I've built and everybody else's who signs up to make sure they're still up and running and that there's no issues and they're not, going down and what the issues are and how to do all that stuff. Well, I'm like, people don't have it for apps, right? People build apps,
right,
and they don't have the same thing. And so I'm building that out and finishing that up.
That's what we talked about before is everybody has the idea of how to create, but how do you support it long term? And
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because we ran across that with one of your softwares, right? Like it's like, hey,
thank God you used it, and you're like, hey, I can't log. And we had just transferred over, moved it from one database to Supabase the way I wanted to get away from how I set it up originally, and we had to transfer it, and there was an issue, and it had no idea.
Yeah. You just don't know. And that's what you and I talked about before. There's going to be a business will be supporting all the apps that all these people put together.
And that's what I'm working on.
Yeah.
So, and then we'll constantly test your app to make sure that there's no issues. I mean, because I remember when Cast Magic first started and then even StreamYard that we're in right now, it's like your old videos, you can't organize, you can't go back to the original one to get rid of it. You have to go through I have four. I mean, I have an assistant going through it, but there's
Yeah.
400 left. I want to get to the first ones to get rid of.
Yeah.
And that's you got to go backwards and backwards, and you can't just sort. You can sort by the name, but you can't sort by date. They should just allow you to have a list of them and like delete, 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 delete. Not the way they do it.
I'm curious, and this is just something popped in my head while you were talking. With everybody creating videos and photos and now infographics and everything else, I'm curious to see how technology is going to keep up. Because even I looked the other day, and I think if you get a new MacBook Pro, you can get 2 terabyte or 4 terabyte, and that's it, right? Which that's a lot. But the
Everybody's on the cloud with it. You put everything on the cloud.
Oh, so I have that, but for some reason it's not uploading my documents all to the cloud. So it's still eating up like 1.5 terabyte on my laptop.
Then that means your setup isn't set that in your iCloud is not, or your cloud is not connected to your photos.
It must not be, because that's 56 gig is my photos.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying that you have to go in there and fix it. I keep on this one here. It keeps saying your whatever account's not connected. Yeah, I know. I don't want it connected. I don't want it synced on here.
Right.
But thank you. I appreciate it. I just need my personal one. I don't need the other one anymore. I use that on my different one.
Well, and so working with Henry, he loves Google Drive, and I've had Dropbox all for 5 years, 7 years, whatever. But I do see the need of now I'm like, well, maybe I'll just go ahead and put everything on Google instead of Dropbox and the other ones.
You have to be really careful setting that up and making sure you don't allow everybody to see everything. Because back in the day with them, I would see everything they put out.
Yeah.
Everything. And it's like, okay, well, that's the only issue. With Dropbox, you have to give authorization per folder or per whatever.
Right.
As a user. Well, they would just would share it, and it would share every one of their folders also.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to be careful. Just be careful with setting it up to where you only allow them to have access to what you're trying to.
And that was an early on challenge, right? Everything that's out there now, because VAs become so common, you can now have limited access. Because it used to be that you had to give away the keys to the kingdom on pretty much any software that was out there. If you wanted to have a VA touch it or anything, it was like, here you go. Here's the password that lets you take care of everything.
LastPass.
And now you can just restrict people down to such limited exposure for what they have access to. We live in better times.
What's nice is LastPass you can set up, and you can set up to where they have access to whatever you want them to have access to as passwords for what you're trying to log into, so that you don't give them total access to everything.
Yep. Matter of fact, I need to sign up for that, because I'm one of those bad people who reuses passwords far too often.
I signed up for it. The only reason I signed up is because my VAs needed it in my stuff, and it was just easier.
Well, what did I hear? Mary one time was on, and maybe she was on here talking about it, but most people, the only change they made to their password in the last 5 years is they add an exclamation point at the end.
Mine's constantly changing on everything because I have multiple systems, and it's like you need to update your password.
Yeah.
So I do have a system for what I do, but I'm not telling you what it is.
No, you don't want to give me your credit card number too, and let me verify your expiration date and
go ahead. Go ahead and do that while you're at it.
I was on a call yesterday, and this guy was telling the girl to look up something. She's like, "What's that URL again?" He's like, "It's youporn.com," and she was typing it in. I was just like, "Oh God, listen to what people are saying. Don't actually do it." It's kind of funny.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
What are you working on?
Same stuff.
Same as always.
Here's my problem. So we're in June. So for the next 60 to 90 days, I want to be slammed because that's how it is in my mortgage industry. So I'm still trying to do these different apps I'm working on, and one of them I needed to work on. It was for some people down in Southern California. I've kind of put the what it's going to look like and everything, but I don't like how it looks. I don't like what it's doing. I don't think it's giving us the right information that I want. I mean, it's giving everything they want, but the question is, it's showing me everything that is taken down there. There's not another. I don't want to get into everything on here, but it's just like, wow, that looks to me like there's no need for this app. Are you following me?
Yeah.
So there is one system you can go to search for a certain thing. Well, with my app, it automatically puts it into place and it's all right there. And by county, by city, whatever, instead of having to go over there and log, do all that, it's automatically just pull up the app and it's there for you. And then all the information on that you wanted on each one of those things. I'll tell you about it later.
Cool.
But again, the question is it really needed? Because what they're doing down there, it's really good. But I don't know long term if it's a viable thing.
Right. It fits an immediate
It's
need.
a very niche
Right.
market, first of all, which is supposed to be. But the question is it going to be there forever, or is it eventually they're going to go away?
Yeah. Well, time will tell. But that's nice thing is you can build it now though for minimal cost versus what it used to be.
Well, I already built it. That
Right.
was easy, but I just don't like how it's coming across. And then the question is, I could be just overthinking it.
It happens.
Yeah, you think. And there's that. I mean, just there's so many things and Claude keeps telling me, well, with this and this and this, I'm like, oh, by the way, I haven't started those 3 things because they're just sitting there for me to build, and I have not finalized how I want to build them yet.
Right.
Where everybody's like, just build it, they'll come.
Do it now.
I have 2 other ones that that are working for what I'm doing, and and other stuff. And I'm getting called. They can go away.
Go away. Leave me alone.
No.
All right.
What are you working on besides not your book?
No, that's what's I stayed up late last night till about 11 or 12 working on the books. I'm on, let me see, where am I at?
Did I go away?
Page 67 of 80. So it'll be done by today. Then I'll put it back in until it fix it again. So this one's the one that's built off the course that already exists, but it was grabbing weird pictures out. So what I went ahead and did is just put the actual slides in, and I'm going to tell it to clean it up later. But yeah, it's only 80 pages. Like I said, I'm on page 67 right now, so I should finish it tonight. Because this is a non-kiddo week, and I'm trying to avoid people like the plague. So like I did leave the house a little bit yesterday for about an hour, and went out, said hi to some people. Then I think I've told you about this. I've got a place right out here called the Katy Trail. It's an old railroad track that they paved over, and it's in the 80s this week because we've been having rain on and off. So went and walked on that last night. Still humid, but went and walked last night. I get in a mile, put on the weighted vest, which is funny because the weighted vest is 25 pounds. I'm like, man, this sucks. This is heavy. And I'm like, oh, I used to be 35 pounds heavier. So it's kind of funny just to look at it differently and go, oh, maybe that's why my back used to hurt more.
Yeah, that is usually how it works, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't even use my weighted vest stuff anymore because of my knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine is just my lower back hurts by the time I'm done with it. I can get in about 2 to 3 miles and then it starts hurting. So the longer the distance, the less I use it.
Well, you don't need, and people don't understand, running and walking. This is not a course on health, but
Right.
running and walking, you get the same amount of weight loss so you might as well just walk because it's more easier on you. For us,
which I did
guys.
see. Diary of a CEO had a short the other day that this lady was saying, if you do for every 1 minute of peak activity you do, it takes like 8 minutes of regular walking. But she was just cool about the one part. She's like, look, get out and move. People aren't meant to sit under fluorescent lights and everything else, which is obviously an important part. But yeah, I need to get back into what I was doing last summer, which was, get up in the morning while I listen to Brock's show, ride the bike, hop in the cold plunge, then get in a garage workout. Because even the gym is 10 to 15 minutes away without traffic. It's like, okay, so that's an extra half an hour I could be using on something else. So I need to get back to the garage workouts.
Yeah. Well, the problem is it's hot where you're at. But I mean, for me, that works for me. And I do the 2 of mine in the garage, and then the other 2 I have to go to the gym because it's all legs.
Yeah.
So that's a difference. And there was like, well, my son, I thought Dad had everything in there. Yeah, but I don't have abduction and adduction machines that I need for.
You don't have the Thigh Master?
No, not anymore. Not ever since Suzanne Summers stopped selling it.
That's right.
No, I just because long story. They're wanting me to fix something on my hip, and it's like they want me to. And the problem is I maxed the frickin' machine anyway, and so I don't. It's not working the way that they want it to.
They wanted to. Yeah, I go. I can't. I don't have anything to mimic pull-ups. I mean, I have a TRX on the back that's attached to the fence, which you can get a little bit of that, but like if I want to do full actual pull-ups, so the main things I have to go to the gym for is pull-ups or back, because they've got way more for biceps and all that stuff. So back and bicep day, then like you said, leg day, because just regular squats ain't doing it.
Not with your gobbles or whatever you call them.
Goblet spot, kettlebells. Yeah. But you're right. It's called a goblet squat when you use the kettlebell. So, but
but you probably don't have a 94 gorilla.
No, I definitely do not. I have an on it little USB here that it's kind of funny. This is how they say it. This is how you do the kettlebell workouts. Like that. This is 6-7 years old. It's kind of funny you mentioned it because it just happened to be sitting on my desk. But I did not get into kettlebells until last summer. God, I can't sing the praises of them enough.
Well, I'm happy for you, but that's not what the show's about. The show's about AI and authority and everything else. That one site I did for that gentleman, it's taken off. He's already got people asking him to be his coach and everything else. So, yeah, works really well.
I need to get my book finished, and I'll come back to you on that.
Well, I'm actually going to redo. I'm going to make sites for my Real Estate Jerky, shows. Mm-hmm. I have it on my personal, but I want to do something differently and then have it where people can sign up for the newsletter there and the blog and make it on an auto thing like I did for him, because it's just so much easier. Because right now my VAs do it weekly. Mm-hmm. They upload it and then they send it out. Yeah. Well, what if I don't want them anymore or something? I'm stuck with them. And that's
what can you do on your own?
Exactly. And they're creating the newsletter for this now that we're going to start promoting it on podcasts here.
Right.
And so that's another one. I'm like, let's create this site and then we'll have all the videos on it. And then you can sign up for the newsletters instead of just having to go to YouTube channel. They can go to the ACES 53. So, and this, so it's something we should have done before, but like we were so busy doing everything else. It's like, okay, well now my VAs have extra time, but not according to the thing. They just went through 30 hours in 2 weeks.
Your VA tokens.
Yeah. It was like, damn, what are you working on? Your stuff.
Yeah.
Because they're getting all the inner editings done, so they can just have them sit there ready to go out. So because that podcast is going to be over in probably another 12 weeks.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
Well, I canceled it, but we still have like 12 weeks or more of content to go.
Well, that's one of the things Joe said, when he took that job, it was a year and a half ago that he stepped back into the ring, and he still had people scheduled for his thing. So he either had to have somebody else help do it, or he had to move the hours around, because people sign up so far in advance for podcasts. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, because people ask me, well, did you have to cancel it because you didn't have people? It's like, no, that was the problem. We were booked out 6+ months, plus we had 4 months, old school in the can. And it was like, no, that wasn't the problem. It was just it ran its course. I'm done. It's time for me to move on to something else.
Yep. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Because I got this one, which is more of what we do now. The failures is great because you have to talk about, but it's not. I got this, Helping the Brave, Real Estate Jerky radio show, and Real Estate Jerky daily. That's enough. Now it's only 12 shows a week.
Only. Too funny. All right. Speaking of things to do, I'm going to cut today short because I got 2 clients to call. I got to call a client, and then I've got to call with a client.
Speaking of that,
yes,
from 7 to 1 p.m. is the best time to make your phone calls.
7 a.m.
Yes.
What time zone?
Yours.
Yes.
Well, this one, whatever time zone you're in,
went live, and I was like, oh, got to call that one back because that one's a paid.
What I'm getting at is don't do it later than, just get it all done. There was a book and a whole thing in our industry, Win by Noon, and it was all about getting all that work done by noon, and then you've won for the rest of the day.
Nice.
And that's what you should focus on for your phone calls is from 8 to noon. Just do that.
I need to do that on non-kiddo days, like even when school's in session, because by the time I drop her off and I either sit there an hour of traffic or go to the gym for an hour, then, I'm not getting really rolling till 10 o'clock or so.
Right. What I'm getting at is just make those phone calls because you can get through them real quick because you're not going to get everybody. They're going to call you back, but at least you've made those calls and now you can go do other things. And that's the difference with me and loans is I'll get everything done on them to where they just sit there ready to go versus other people, other people, they'll just do it as it comes in and reacts to the stuff. No, that's not how you want to do it. You want to be proactive.
That was one of the things. that they talked about Saturday is the sooner that somebody reaches out, the faster you get to them. So they try, their goal was within 5 minutes of somebody clicking on an ad and registering, they try and call the person within 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's like people contact through my website, and it just happens to come to me, or the call will come to me, and I'll answer, and people are like, "What the?" And I had one last weekend that applied, and I called, and it was on a Sunday. And she's like, "I can't believe I got you, because I just listened to you on the radio, because on our Sunday."
Yeah.
I'm like, "You just got lucky today that I was available,
Right.
on a Sunday." Yeah. So veterans, I'm always there for them. So
There you go.
All right, make it a great day. Take us out, please.
All right. Everybody, thank you for joining Ed Parcaut and myself with Aces 53 on Tuesdays. Like today, it's just Ed and I talking. On Thursdays, we try and have a guest every once in a while. That's what we call a joker. It's somebody with a special skill or talent that we want to learn from and we want to bring to you all as well. So the best way to support us is to like and share this information. Thank you for joining us, Ed. And we are, did I already say this, at noon Central, 10 a.m. Pacific, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And what else did I forget?
We got a great joker this week on Thursday.
Oh, yes. Come see Joe.
Yeah. And we'll have the information out ahead of time so you know who he is and everything about him.
I still want him to show up. So
don't worry, he's showing up whether he wants to or not.
No, I mean the people when they find out who he is.
Oh, okay, then I won't tell everybody.
All right, let's go.
Right, bye.
Bye.